Hello, everyone. I have created this YouTube link to show you where to find week five's assignments for psychology class. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you know where to locate your assignments for week number 5 of online learning. We will go ahead and click on online learning week 5. As you remember, last week we had the reading and vocabulary for stress, lifestyle, and health. We also had you guys view a documentary about stress. And this week, what you will be completing is 4 different activities as it relates to stress. The first activity is name that stress. And once we open up the worksheet, you could see that there is a table that has 10 items that you will need to list. These items on the left-hand side will be what you identify as life stressors. And in the right-hand side of this table, you will need to identify them, each of them, as one particular term. So it could either be frustration stress, anxiety stress, or conflict stress. So you would need to put it right here. What's the life stressor? And would you identify it as frustration stress, anxiety, or conflict? So the next thing that you will need to complete for this week is activity number 2, which is step on the gas. GAS in this particular activity sheet is an acronym for General Adaptation Syndrome, which has 3 phases on how to deal with stress. I have included a brief summary of the information for GAS, and then you will need to proceed to answering 2 questions as it relates to the GAS model of stress. The next activity is going to be coping with stress. This worksheet will include instructions on the first page on how to complete page 2 and 3, where you will find the actual survey. So you will need to identify each item on a scale of 0 to 3. So 0 being not at all, 1 being a little, 2 being occasionally, and 3 fairly often. Once you have completed that, which is an item of 32, which ends in the 3rd page right here, 32, you will need to go back and identify what type of strategy you tend to use most. So the first page gives you that particular instruction on how to identify that. So, for example, here are the 3 different types of identifications: active cognitive, active behavioral, and avoidance. Each one of these items are the items that relate to each of these strategies. So please be mindful that you will need to come back to this instruction page to be able to identify what strategy you use most. The last one is kind of like a fun project, because what you will need to do is just simply create Memes. And everybody knows what memes are. I've included an example down at the bottom. So it gives you instructions on how to complete each of them. The key here is that you will come up with 7 memes as it relates to stress. And it gives you specific instructions on needing to make sure that you have a solid background, a picture centered on your slide, the words being on both the top and the bottom of whatever, and it has to be an original meme. So the picture will also have a thick border. So this is the sample, very simple sample. Stressed, which is the word on top. I've given it a black solid background. I've given it the picture, I've centered it on the slide, and I've given it a solid border. Okay. And then, of course, I put it's only Monday. So that is one of the examples. Go ahead and come up with some of your own. It could be in relationship to being stressed or ways to cope with stress. So I'm looking forward to seeing those memes, and hopefully they have a funny side to them. That is the final activity that you will need to do for this week. If you have any questions or concerns, please remember that we will be on our live Zoom session tomorrow at 11 a.m. If you cannot attend, please feel free to go ahead and send me an email with your questions or concerns. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you at one of our live Zoom sessions.